Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another episode of Manifesting Muslimah. I'm your host, Zara Pedersen, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about ayah 43 and 44 from Surah al Furqan, in English, the criterion. Surah al Furqan, verse 43 and 44. And as usual, in case you are wondering or in case you want to study alongside of me every Thursday, the translation that I am using is by Maulana Wahiduddin Khan, and it is in my Quran journal that I have made myself and am selling both in physical print via the print on demand on Amazon and also as a digital version if you like to study, for instance, on your iPad. This is a full English translation of the Quran by Maulana Wahiduddin Khan. There is no Arabic writing in this book, meaning you can actually handle it without having your wudu. You can be on your period. Anybody who's not Muslim can pick up this book as well and read it. You can, as I showed you, if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see me holding mine up here. You can highlight in it, take notes, so on and so forth. So it's a really good tool to study the Quran. I made it because I need it. I'm a very visual learner. And I thought if I need to study the Quran this way, maybe other people also need the same kind of tool. And that's why I created it and I'm selling it. And I'm happy to report to you guys, by the way, just in case you were wondering, so far, this book has been shipped to every single corner of the world. Alhamdulillah. So I can say that my Quran journal is a worldwide thing. So thank you so much, Jazakallah khairan, to everybody who has purchased a copy. I am just blown away by how many people out there felt like they also needed this kind of copy. So if you haven't got yours, please go ahead and order yours today. Again, there's a digital copy and then there's also the physical print copy. And if you're ordering the print copy, just really quickly, make sure you're ordering it from the Amazon storefront that is closely related to where you're living. So if you're in the UK, make sure you go to the co.uk site. If you're in America.com, if you are in, I don't know, anywhere else where like that relevant dot something comes behind. And if you are in a place where they don't have a specific URL just to you, I would suggest that you get it specifically from either the .com or .co.uk site, unless there's another one that is closer to you. Okay, so anyway, a little bit more of an explanation there than I usually give, but it's okay. So let's start with these two ayats, because this is so interesting to me. Again, why I highlighted it and why I want to share it with you, inshallah. Okay, we're going to start. Verse 43 and 44. Have you seen him who has taken his own desires to be his God? Can you be a guardian over him? Do you think most of them can hear or understand? They are like cattle. Indeed, they are even more astray. Right? A little bit of chills. I'm not going to lie. The first time I read this, it was like, but there's so many places in the Quran, subhanAllah, you get a little bit of like that cold chill running down your back of like, oh my God, am I doing this? Or, oh no, that what a horrible thing. And the thing about this is that this is shirk, but not the kind of shirk that a lot of us focus on. So we focus our shirk on having idols, worshipping things other than God, and that could also be, like pop stars and stuff that we're like so completely inundated by, I don't know, their music, their looks, whatever, that we're trying to mimic them. We focus more on what they're doing than what we should be doing as Muslims and good servants to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But also, one thing that, for myself, teaching law of attraction from an Islamic perspective, get a lot of people say that is shirk, because the way that of understanding through, normal or whatever, conventional law of attraction is that you ask the universe or your guardian angels or something for favors. And that's obviously like why I say law of attraction from an Islamic perspective, because we understand that it is from Allah we get every blessing, and that Allah has given us every single tool that we need in the Quran and through the hadiths to get the same result, not even the same result, astaghfirullah, even better results than what you get from using conventional law of attraction. So we don't commit shirk. We're very much aware of that. And the difference in understanding is very powerful and could potentially save your soul. So, be very, very careful with what it is that you choose to follow, right? Especially also coaches online and stuff like that who teach conventional law of attraction, because you could be perhaps going down a route that is a little bit scary if you're not careful. But that is how we usually think about... Sorry about that. My phone just said something really interesting. Sorry. So we're going to continue. So that's what we usually think about shirk, what shirk is. The shirk is this. You have to follow something specific. But in this case, it is our desires. When our desires become more important to us. So we are basically desiring wealth or looks or I don't know, whatever it might be, more than we're desiring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then it's as if we're taking our desires as God. We are taking our desires as being more important to us than the afterlife. Astaghfirullah. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of us unknowingly tend to fall into this little category. And this is why I want to share it today. I've said once before in a TikTok a while ago, I probably should make a little reminder of it. Don't let your emotions or your feelings become greater than God or more important than God, because this is the same thing. What we're doing is we are becoming so ego driven that our desires, our emotions, our feelings become more important than God. And as a result, even without knowingly doing it or choosing something else to follow, blindly, we could be committing shirk because they become greater to us than God. And this is where, Allah says, do you think most of them can hear or understand? They're like cattle. Indeed, they are even more astray, because we are focusing on the wrong thing. So we are being led astray. We're being led astray by wealth, by beauty. And a lot of people, you see this so much through social media, how people are chasing wealth. There's no end to it, without an end. They chase beauty without an end. They are willing to do questionable things to attain something that they think, this will make me happy. And when I have this, then my life will be sorted out, not understanding that none of that is going to give them anything. In fact, only God can, only Allah can. And so they become these cattle that are just following this thing blindly. They don't hear, they don't listen, they don't see. They are just following without any real guidance. And on the way, they become more and more astray and moving further away from Allah. And as Muslims, this is something we need to be very, very careful of. When dunya starts becoming so loud that it is shouting louder than the deen. We don't want that. And it happens a lot. And it happens specifically, and I love that in this translation, Maulana Wahiduddin Khan also used, the word desire. So you take your own desire to be your God. So what is it that you're desiring? And I'm going to actually share something with you. And I know a lot of you are going to be a little triggered. So this is your trigger warning. And I'm not going to go into detail because I actually spoke about this like a couple of episodes ago. So if you didn't hear it, you can go back and listen to it. A lot of us take this, for instance, around marriage and partnership and wanting a family, where the desire for that sometimes overshadows Allah's will, to the point where we become disgruntled, frustrated, annoyed, upset because we haven't been given that thing, meaning our desire is greater than God. We place our desire and our feelings of yearnings and wanting this thing as more important than Allah's will for us. And it's not to say that you're not going to get married again. You can go back and listen to that whole episode again. If you haven't, and even if you have and you're still being triggered, go back and listen to that episode. It simply means that God has to be before any of our desires. Meaning that even if we never get the desire, it's okay as long as we still have Allah. Read this for yourself, verse 43 and 44. In fact, read the whole surah, Surah al Furqan, and pause when you're coming to ayat 43 and 44 and ask yourself, is there anywhere in my life where my desires are greater than God? And could I be committing shirk in one way or another, where basically I'm putting my desire before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And again, I said before, as I said, like in a video, that I said, even feelings and emotions. Well, now I'm sad, so I'm entitled to. Well, now I'm angry, so I'm entitled to. Now I'm hurt, so I'm entitled to. Don't let anything get greater than God. Your nafs, in the akhirah, it's not going to be the same as it is in this dunya. So it will eventually shut up, even if it's hard to go through at this point. But in the akhirah, it's going to be very, very different. And you don't want to look back saying, oh, why was I being misled by something so small, so meaningless, and allowing that stupid little voice in my head overrule what loves me the most, and what, if I loved it the most, would bring me the most success in this dunya and the akhirah, inshallah. All right, my darling, that's all I have for you today. I hope you got something beneficial out of this episode. As usual, feel free to rate and review this podcast and share it with people that you think might enjoy listening to it as well. I appreciate you also very, very much. I will see you in the next episode, inshallah. But until then, please don't forget to live in love.